You're okay. Shannon, come out. You're okay. You're okay.
Paul Fleming takes home $600 for fifth place. Shannon Carrigan will now go on to lanes 25 and 26 and meet Brian Csipkes from Omaha, Nebraska. Not a bad weekend work. Now, Brian Csipkes will move on to lanes
1, Take it down, Brian.
First of all, the general manager of Adult Sports Complex, none of them both here. Where are they at? Hold your hand up there, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Also from the Northwest Beverage, Ken Merritt Smith, the regional manager from Golden, Colorado, from Coors Light Beer, Jim Smith, and also his wife is behind lane number 40. His wife's name is Sherry. Thank you very much, Jim Smith. Also, we'd like to thank the church complex there, their staff. They've been very helpful and very nice to us. Done everything, all the kids that kept score for us on the monitors. We certainly appreciate your help. Now, to get on with the money part. Finishing in third place.
Okay, Mr. Weber, your impressions on the weekend here in St. Joe.
John, I tell you what, we've had a great time. The proprietors and the staff here at Belk Sports Complex has really been great. The fans have been great. The kids that kept score for us have been fantastic. So we want to come back, and we're talking about coming back next year. So look for us next year.
I know you've been involved in some great matches in your life. You ever seen anything like the final?
Oh, I tell you, these two kids put on something else. 280 to 277. Jeff Richgels from Madison, Wisconsin. This bowled fantastic, leaving a 10-pin in the second frame, in fact, or else he could have had a 300 game. Of course, Brian Csipkes from Omaha, Nebraska, bowled very well, 277. So I'll take any one of those games anytime.
Many of the Midwest's finest bowlers throwing some practice shots before tomorrow's regional PBA tournament from the Belt Bowl. Tournament play begins in the morning, 2 5-game qualifying blocks. Play continues through Sunday with the final 5 survivors competing in the TV format finals. Joining us upstairs, this is a real treat for us, PBA Hall of Famer Dick Weber, who is the Midwest Regional Director. And Mr. Weber, I couldn't let you go out without first asking you about how bowling has changed in the 25 or 30 years that you've been involved in. I know that's a tough question for you and a lot of things to cover, but kind of thumbnail it for us.
Well, John, it's really changed quite a bit because back in my day, we carried one bowling ball with us, a hard rubber bowling ball with us, and that was it for our tour. Nowadays, I make the senior tour, and just for image sakes, I carry 10 to 12 bowling balls with me on the tour. So the bowling balls have made the big difference. Plus, the younger people have come out on the tour, too.
How about your greatest thrill? I know you have to have a bunch of them. How about 1 or 2 of them?
Well, I have many great thrills, John. It's hard to pinpoint the one exact, but being elected to the Hall of Fame, Professional Bowlers Association Hall of Fame, the American Bowling Congress Hall of Fame, and those are 2 of the biggest thrills I've ever had.
All right, let's talk about this weekend. Tell me about the caliber of bowler we're liable to see in this regional tournament.
Well, right now we have around 64 entries, and we expect anywhere from 10 to 12 more entries at the time. Starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. But we have national champion Leroy Bornhop from St. Charles, Missouri, Toby Contreras from Kansas City, and we have our Bowler of the Year, Dale Traber from Cedarsburg, Wisconsin, 3-time Bowler of the Year. So we've got quite an array of stars out there, and of course we have younger bowlers coming out of there, out of high school more or less, and they're going to give some of the old veterans trouble.
I think it's kind of interesting. You and I were talking about it upstairs before we came on camera. So many of the guys, the regular touring pros, bowl in these regional tournaments because it really benefits their game, doesn't it?
Well, it keeps them in rhythm. It keeps their game in shape, and that's what these regionals are all about for the touring players. But really, the reason for the regional tournaments are it's like a farm system. The younger bowlers come out and see if they can make it on a regional play, and then if they can, they go out on a national tour and see what they could do. So it's a very interesting job to me because I get to see the youngsters come up and go out on a national tour and win.
Last thing for you, how about seeing you guys here on a regular basis in St. Joseph?
Well, according to Mr. Dick Stevens, we're coming back next year, and we hope to come back next year and make this an annual thing. So look for us again next year, John.
Mr. Weber, thanks a lot for coming out. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
PBA Hall of Famer Dick Weber, who, by the way, autographed John Gilchrist's bowling pin. And believe it or not, he put to the greatest bowler in St. Joe, which spooks me, but he's such a nice fella, he did it anyway.
Well, how does your bowling game compare to Dick Weber's?
I know where the gutters are, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, so do I.